Morning, everybody, and aloha. Welcome to Just Talking 24, page 10. I'm kind of glad that I opened up the subjects to politics because I've been watching a lot of YouTube, as usual, and I am very impressed with this 27-year-old woman, Caroline Levitt. She is the press secretary for President Trump. And considering what the person that she took over from, who was, and I can't even remember her name for Biden. This girl is a breath of fresh air. She's straight. She tells it to you. I love her. She's straight. She gets in your face. She doesn't, stand for any BS. And she puts the reporters down, and the reporters come out almost afraid. Even the guy Peter Ducey, he's gonna be afraid of her. This because he's not the sharpest, the sharpest tack in the box, but compared to what they had before, he was brilliant. But now he's against someone who's out of his league. Really, this girl is out of his league. She's sharp. She's prepared. She's confident. When on the View, Joy Bear said that she was a 10. Yes, President Trump was right. She's a 10. She is perfect for the job. She is a 10. And they took it they took it sexually. I don't know why. I mean, people will take it, in where your mind is. If your mind's in the gutter, you're going to take something like the gutter. But the politics, the reason why I didn't want to go into politics was when I was growing up, I knew a lot of the stuff that's going on now. It was going on then. Okay. But if you're not, you got to be on the need to know side. If you didn't need to know, you didn't know it. And my plus was because I used to hang around with older guys, and they weren't entirely all legal, if you know what I mean. And because of the Vietnam War, Hawaii had dropped its drinking age down to 18. Well, not Hawaii, the nation, because their reasoning was if this 18-year-old man can go, and give up his life for his country, he should be able to go into a bar and order a beer. That was the logic, which to me made perfect sense. But I was only 16. But like I said, remember 6'3", 395, right? Nobody's going to card me. And the guys I hung around with, nobody would dare card them. And so I was allowed to go to bars. I've been going to bars since I was 16. And when you're the kid, and I was the kid, I was the baby of the group, but I just stay quiet and talk, and listen to. I just soak everything in. I was the sponge. And as the in Hawaii we call that inu. Inu is drink. As the person drinks more, sometimes the alcohol serves as a lubricant, as I want to, what I'd like to say, and they let things out that shouldn't be let out, but the lubrication of the alcohol allows it to flow. And these guys, I mean, they get drunk, they get really drunk, and I didn't drink that much, and I could handle a lot of liquor, but they would let a lot of stuff slip, and it's not just the stuff that they're talking about. It sounds so out of this world, but you know that it's the truth. And so you just chalk it off, put it on the back file, put it on the back file, put it on the back file. Well, the stuff that they were talking about back in the 60s is now coming out. And they don't come out as, oh, this was happening in the 60s. It's happening today. It's the same thing over and over. And just the, what we call opala, the rubbish, the dirt, the feces, whatever you want to call it, used to cover. And then over that, they planted nice grass. But what they didn't show you was that there was no foundation. It was all just dirt. Just it was very dirty. Politics was very dirty, and I knew that from way back. A lot of people, when I talked to some people, they said, "Wow, you should run for office." And I told them, the idiots that are, well, excuse me, but people that are in office are the ones that can be controlled in office. If you think that they're free, they're free thinkers. One of the free thinkers is, we have him right now for president. I mean, this guy, and people have asked me this from way back in, like 2000, well, way back 2000, right? But what do you think about Donald Trump? And I tell them, I don't know the man. I don't like the man. But the reason why I don't like him is because the way he is, with the Apprentice and all of that. He's a businessman, very straightforward. We don't do that kind of business in Hawaii. Hawaii is a lot of like I told you, we're a small town, and we're the Eastern type of a philosophy. You don't offend, just stab from the back, which is, unfortunately, that's how a lot of it is. When you talk to some of these business people, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You got to cover CYA, what they say, CYA. And it's really unfortunate, but it happens all over. You have to cover your butt. And you shouldn't have to, but you do. But you learn this. I've learned it way back. Oh, for the last 50 years, maybe 50 plus years. And this girl, Caroline Levitt, is a breath of fresh air. And the thing is, we don't recognize it. People put her down, and no, I love her. She is straightforward, and she appears to be saying the truth. And a lot of the stuff she says, I already know. Go back to last week's one with the Gaza Strip. They finally came out and they said, it's to promote peace. I knew that. What I didn't know was he was going to make them pay for it. I thought we would be stuck with the bill, but no. Okay. But yeah, I don't mind. If they can pay for it. And I think that it would be a good joint venture if Israel and the Arab countries paid for the cleaning up, the rebuild, giving jobs. I mean, that's perfect. This tariff thing, and I told you, it's not primarily punitive, although that's what everybody thinks. Punitive. It's just that these other countries, and they're using fentanyl, but it goes a lot deeper than that. And it goes back to our basic economy. As you know, America's economy is going down. Our manufacturing, they're closing. Unemployment's going to go up because all these manufacturing plants and everything, they cannot compete with the world market because the world market is so cheap, and because our market situation, also spurred upon by unions, right? Look at the automotive, Ford. What was it? The Bronco and I believe the F-150s are made entirely in Brazil. They have huge plants in Brazil. They make everything from tires to wiring to harnesses to upholstery to bodies. I mean, everything is made in Brazil at this plant. And then they just make the car and they bring it into America, and they make, one of my nurses paid, $72,000 for an F-150. I told him, "Are you crazy?" He goes, "Oh no, the thing got lights in the bed." I said, "Okay, great." No, but you can back up with just using a camera. I told him, "Well, you can back up using your mirrors if you just learn how to do it." Backing up a load is not that hard. It isn't, really. It's just that if you overthink it, it is. But if you do it more reactive than proactive, it's way easier. I used to be able to put, back up cars down long driveways and then park the car at the end while backing it up. It's not that hard once you learn how to do it. And I used to watch, and I learned watching the old bros. I mean, they could shift backwards. Imagine shifting a truck backwards while reversing a load. That's how good these guys were. They're fantastic. And it's just learning how. But this girl, Carolyn Levitt, she is she knows what she's doing. And I believe she's starting to realize how much power she has, and I just hope it doesn't go to her head. You take learn to kiss, keep it simple, which she's trying, and these reporters are trying to, it's a power game. They want to be smarter because they were with that, and what was her name? Jean something. She was the black girl. Yeah, I mean, I hate to, but the Popolo chick, she she was stupid. Oh man, she was unprepared. Um, she was just a parrot. That's all. I don't see her being eventfully employed after this. After the Bidens, um, I don't see her. Yeah, making the news again ever. She got her 3 years of fame or whatever it was. But this girl, Carolyn Levitt, she will go on. If she could she could be a newscaster, but I don't think that's really her calling. Yeah, she can put her assets and her talents to business. Oh, she'd be a shark. In fact, I'm pretty sure Trump's going to take care of her even after after all of this is gone, if it ever is gone. But it's gotta be. You get Trump. Everybody's saying that they're grooming Elon Musk. But I think if Trump can get 8 years and JD Vance can come on year 6, and then he can get 8 years, and then we finish off with Musk. Musk will be able to clean up whatever JD Vance does. Hopefully. Musk he has to cool down a little bit. I love his SpaceX. I just don't like his living on Mars. Just work on Earth. Earth, you got the atmosphere, you got everything conducive for life. Why do we have to go someplace and make our own life and be under the control? And that's what it is, the control of the place where we live. Like right now, if you can move around the earth and you don't need special suits, special buildings, special anything. That's where we're meant to be. We're meant to be here. Let's try. And we can't perfect Earth because Earth is constantly changing, and we're not there so that we can know what the change is going to be. We've got to be reactive. As the change comes in, we change with it. Scientists think they know what happened. They think they know, and they have to think that, because if they weren't sure and if they say, I don't know, how much credibility would they have, right? But they come on and they say something, and then later on it shows that they weren't right. Well, how much credibility do they have then? That's why they say, oh, we're going to practice medicine. We're going to practice law. That's why they use the word practice, because it's not an exact science, and neither is science. Even though they like to think it is and they act like it is, it's not. And we're constantly changing. Our ways of thinking constantly change. How we think today is not how we thought, in the last century, and it's not how they thought the century before that. And yet every generation thinks that, yep, that's it, we're here. That's why I don't believe in evolution. I believe in creation as far as man, because evolution doesn't stop. Our pathway through our experience of living life, man, that's an evolution. We constantly change, and we do it so slowly that we're not conscious. We don't consciously know we're changing, but we're changing in our lifestyle. We're changing in our thinking. But that type of evolution that the scientists talk about is an actual physical evolution, and that is not. We still got 5 fingers, 5 toes, And I read one article once where they said, oh, Scientists say the next thing we're going to lose in our evolution is our baby toe. I go, why? Oh, because we don't use it. Well, we don't use our appendix and we still have it. Oh, man is not born without an appendix, even though we don't need it anymore. We still don't have it. It's just a wasted thing. But if it bursts, it can kill you. Yeah, that's a time bomb in there. But man hasn't evolved to that. So how can you talk about a baby toe, which is a lower phalanges? Although it's an external thing and you can visually see it, um, a baby toe for our balance and our dexterity and our walking, our um, our ability to mobilize, the baby toe is way more important than the appendix, and we still have the appendix. So that theory about evolution and creation, I say creation. So therefore, when you go to creation, who created us, right? Sorry about that. That's the first bus of the day. I'm very late. This is the third time I'm filming this morning. I just couldn't get out what I wanted to talk about. And then I watched the YouTube, and then I saw Caroline Levitt, and I said, yeah, that's what I want to talk about, Levitt. And the competency of Trump's, what's Trump's doing? And I've gone off it. I was talking about creation. So let's go back to Trump. Like I said, I don't know the man. Really, I don't know him. And I don't really want to because he's East Coast and I'm Hawaii. That's the two difference. He's very up forward, in your face. And being Hawaii, we're largely influenced by the eastern side, the Oriental, the Filipino, and their way is don't get into somebody's face, don't make trouble, don't make a stink, don't make everything, respect. But on the East Coast, it's just get ahead, go, drive, 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 and that's what he does. That's why you're fired. It's so hard. I don't have trouble saying that. That's one thing. I guess because my mom's white, and it's a white thing, white man thing, and Trump gets in your face and he'll fire you. He cleans house, and he has the power to do it. That's what's making everybody afraid. That's why they're attacking him. The news. I mean, you try to look at the news stories. Trump this, Trump that, Trump that. When Biden was there, they didn't cover it like that. I mean, how can you? He did nothing really. So how can you cover nothing? But yeah, it's Trump, anti-Trump, because they are afraid. This is all done out of fear, folks. Don't think that they're trying to educate you. Well, they are, but you got to be able to read between the lines. It's not to keep you appraised. It's to make you afraid of Trump. And don't be afraid of Trump. He is trying to make America great again. He remembers what it was. It's like a child. If you tell the child, don't touch that or you'll get burned. If they never got burned, how would they know what burned was? So like make America great again. Only us old futs saw, really, really lived that time, really experienced what America great was. And the kids today, they think America's great. No, it's not. It is a shadow of its former self. But like I said, and Trump's trying, but it's a runaway train and he's trying to put on the brakes and reverse it. And I have to admire the man. I know what he's trying to do and he's going to slow it down, but I don't believe that he can really stop it. But if he can slow it down and if someone can realize it and they can turn it around, because, okay, the guy is 78 years old, okay? If he goes 8 years, he'll be 86. No, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna, you know, I mean, heaven forbid, but 86 years old is kind of long to, be the head of a road, number one country in the world. But we'll see. But like I said, Trump, give it to Vance. Don't give it to Musk yet. Musk will be the cleanup batter. Yeah, he's your power man. Musk is your power man. JD Vance is like your number 2 or number 3 batter. But then number 4 comes to the plate, knocks it out of the park, hopefully. And Caroline Levitt is a good example of how Trump is. He'll get people that, well, RFK, Robert, Robert Kennedy Jr. He, our own governor, went and testified against him. And the funny part is, our own governor, he says that RFK is not qualified. Tulsi Gabbard wasn't qualified for the job. Well, he he should talk. This man is emergency physician. He's the emergency ER physician, and he ran for lieutenant governor first out. What were his qualifications? You know, maybe you can see a state that's bleeding out, but he's done nothing to stop the bleeding. They're still bleeding out. They still want to tax us, and tax us some more. And they don't realize that an economy is not something that you keep taxing. You got to generate your own money, and they don't know how, because all of these guys, the politicians, that's all they know. That's how they generate money. They don't work. You just live off the backs of other people. You work off these hardworking people making money. You get their money. You tax them. That's all politicians want to do, is get in your tax pocketbook. That's Now you know why I don't want to go political. This is how I see it, and it's true. Show me the proof. Just look. There are so many instances I can't show you the proof. The proof is the proof. It's the way the things are. Look at us. 100 years ago, we didn't have any taxes. Look how many taxes they got today. They tax everything. I mean, they tax the tax in Hawaii. We've got a penny tax on the recycling tax. The recycling cost is 5 cents. There's a 1 penny tax, and that comes out to a 20% tax, folks. A 20% tax on per bottle. So say you buy 5 bottles, okay? Your tax on the 5 bottles is a quarter. Now, if using the GET tax rate on a quarter, the tax should be 1 penny. No, the tax on the quarter is 5 pennies. It's a quarter. It's a penny per item. That's a 20% tax. That's what it comes down to. And we're still paying. And they want it to go up. They wanted to raise that tax. That's, like I said, that's the only thing they know. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to earn their money. Most of these people, although they say they have jobs, I want to see what kind of job they actually do. They're not known for their jobs. They're known for their politics. And politics isn't a job. Well, to them, it's a religion. They live and breathe politics. And Trump doesn't. That's why his own what's that party? His first time that he was elected, they didn't back him up, and he still won. Well, this time they're wising up and they're backing him up a little. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, try, play the game with him, and see what happens. I've got a really positive look at this next 4 years. A lot of white people, they don't. But I tell them, the reason why is because you're conditioned not to. You're conditioned the democratic way. And don't let that word democratic, phase you. There's nothing about Look at Biden. Nobody ever voted for Biden to be the person to run. He was never voted in. He was given. And then when he stepped down, Kamala Harris got it without any type of democratic process. So how can you call yourself a democratic party when you don't even use the democratic process? It's so hypocritical. At least the Republicans, they had, everybody voted and Trump won. They used the democratic process to pick their candidate. But the Democrats, they don't, and they're losing the power, hopefully. But we still need We still need at least a 2-party system. You don't want to make it too confused, but you gotta have checks and balances. You cannot give absolute power to one because we all saw what happens. Hawaii used to be a Republican party pre-World War, pre-World War II. We were Republican. Um, that was the party. And then our boys went to war, and 442 came, and two men, Governor John Burns, well, he became governor, but John A. Burns and Daniel Inouye got together, and they saw the power, the sheer numbers of the Japanese American and later on the Filipino Americans. And if you could get their vote, you can get the office. You get the office, you run the state. You run the state, you can do whatever you want. And that's exactly what happened. And people today, we're so conditioned to just listening and not questioning, and which is really bad. Once you lose that, you've lost it as a people. You just become a bunch of herd animals. Like I told you, that's what humans are. We're herd animals, and we can be herded. And right now, we're being herded. President Trump is trying to break away from that herd, and look at the rest of the herd. Pull them back down, right? And so he's under this onslaught of by the Democratic Party and by the press and even by the courts. Look at New York, what they did, that fiasco. That's going to be fun. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty exciting 4 years. I'm pretty excited about it. And if you got any, and please be clean about it, but give me your feedback. I want to read. I want to see how you guys actually think out there. Um, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm right, but I'm open. I am open. If you can show me where I'm wrong, and I don't want to hear rhetoric of the Hippocratic stuff that the people put out. Give me actual facts so I can go research it. True facts. Okay. But as I said before, please like, please subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. If you watched this far, wow, thanks. And as I always end it, have a great week. Ahui ho, maalama pono, and aloha. Bye bye.